All right, how are you guys doing today?
Great. How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, doing pretty good. So yeah, like I was telling you before, I was just looking at some of the footage, and it's a funny take on the zombie apocalypse. And I only made it through, I think, the first three chapters, but
Gotcha.
already I relate to Andy on so many different levels.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, nobody related to me my whole life, and the character's based on me. But that's good that you relate to me now.
Yeah. Go ahead and just take the time to introduce yourselves and kind of tell us how you're involved with bad timing.
Okay. My name is Andy Goldenberg. I go by Golden Tusk on YouTube. I created Bad Timing as sort of a vehicle for myself to show people what I can do and how neurotic I would be during a zombie apocalypse. And with me is Alexis Codding.
Hello. I am just another actor in LA who decided I wanted to play a lot of supernatural roles, and I got to play a zombie. So that's how I'm involved.
That's right. Incredible. And I also have Zac Titus, a picture of Zac Titus on my phone, but the voice of Zac Titus with me, who you will hear from him.
And the voice is coming out of the picture,
yeah,
which is also supernatural.
I'll tell you, technology is great, and that's how I first got involved in this project, was through a self-tape. And I thought, wow, that looks like a really fun challenge, playing a zombro. And so I researched zombies and like the Walk Academy and everything, and then I came with my own mashup of Brad and Zombro. So thanks for the opportunity to be a part of this.
Yeah, actually, Zac's character was Zombro in the script. And I think on the day, or maybe before the day you had decided, you said your name was Brad, which gave your so the greatest title, because the show is Bad Timing and his episode is Brad Timing.
Nice. What would be like if for people who might be hearing about Bad Timing for the first time? What's your elevator pitch? Your quick little synopsis.
Glad you asked. Bad Timing is the story of an awkward loser who finally gets a chance with the girl of his dreams after a zombie apocalypse. So it's basically The Walking Dead if it were written by Woody Allen.
I like that combination. That sounds like gold.
That's what I like to say. And you know, the zombies and the apocalypse is sort of more a MacGuffin, especially in the first season, of like getting into this world, getting to know the characters, and how they would react in these situations, and sort of Andy's love life, if you can have a love life at the end of the world. Because I don't have one now.
Takes everyone dying for him to get a love life.
Exactly. That's what I thought in middle school. So I was like, that's why I'll write this.
Like, the world will end before I get a love life.
Yeah. You see how it's like you start in middle school having these feelings.
They don't go away.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I was out of middle school.
Really, you don't look like you're 13.
Thanks.
I was going to ask, because you said that you wrote this, and there's a lot of you in your character. So I'd like to hear from kind of each of you. How do you feel about your characters? Maybe how you're similar, how you're different.
I'd like to hear that too. I guess I'll start. So my sister also helped me write the show, and she knows me maybe better than I know myself, because I have a bad memory. And so there is a lot of my Jewish neurosis in like everything that I do, but especially the character of Andy. I mean, he's literally named after me. There is not much different from me than maybe I don't whine as much. Andy's a little bit of a whiner. But otherwise, he's just as lovelorn and self-critical and not confident as I think maybe I
am. For my zombie character, I didn't know I would be fighting the day of, so that was very exciting to see. I guess some of my kickboxing classes over the years prepared me for that one.
That's good that you did that to begin with.
Exactly. See, it's a method acting sort of situation without even knowing it.
Yeah. Those skills come in handy during the apocalypse.
Exactly. Yeah. And so does a thirst for brain or cerebral cortex, like other zombie lightly puts it. We created a little backstory for mine as well. The outfit that we decided to put me in was very Coachella-esque. So before meeting Andy, I was the Coachella zombie. I was kind of like patient zero at Coachella to become a zombie. So I went around eating everyone and either directly or indirectly turning everyone at Coachella into a zombie. So I was the Coachella zombie. And all I really wanted was a nice little hookup that I never got and then still never got, unfortunately, because his girlfriend had to go and shoot me.
Yeah.
It's wannabe girl.
Spoiler. What about you, Zach? Oh wait, but how is that like you? Is there anything like you in that? Do you see yourself
I
in
guess
that
just
character?
going around and fighting everyone.
You do that?
Every single day. I'll probably fight you after this. No, none of the fighting. None of the taste for blood. I've never been to Coachella. You know, I had to pull from a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to act.
Exactly. I had to act.
Hopefully nobody in any of the zombie films is not acting. Hopefully they're not.
Hopefully no one is just naturally their zombie character.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, just shuffling around.
Yeah. Maybe my hungover days prepared me to be a zombie. Because, you know, when you're hungover, you're a zombie all day.
What about you, Zach?
Well, it's interesting. I'm like this constant hunter in this. I'm just looking. And what was funny was my wife was kind of scolded me before for like stalking her at times. And I was like, oh, okay, that's if I go for like the simplest thing I want. And I was like, oh, that's pretty easy to latch onto. And then the dry sense of humor, I think, is very much like me, but I don't like the taste of human, I don't think I would. So that's different. But the dry sense of humor and that kind of constant hunting is what I kind of pulled from this is similar.
Yeah, I loved Zach's sort of dry take on like his character. It's like really fun. All the zombies so far in the series have like very different attitudes, and I kind of wanted to play that. You know, these zombies, we never really get to hear from them. They're always just kind of like literally The Walking Dead. You know, it's just we give them characteristics because of what they're wearing and maybe their speed and agility and physicality. But in my show, I wanted them to have like a zombie personality.
Yeah, like touch of humanity was in all of these because we have these distinct personalities.
Okay, yeah, I do want to know a little bit more about the zombies. There's so many different types of zombies in all throughout the genre. You know, your fast movers, you have your ones that retain memories from when they were alive. So just let me know. You know, we have a couple of the zombies here with us right now. So I'd like to hear kind of about how you came up with the zombie characters and just how much of a character are they? Like, is the acting required just the shuffling with your arms out, or?
There was actually no shuffling with arms out on the two female zombies.
Yeah. At
least. I wish Leah was here to talk about her zombie character because hers she's just so frustrated.
Yeah. Each zombie is basically sort of based on a trope. So, you know, one of the zombies doesn't really want to eat brains. One of the zombies isn't into eating zombies. Isn't into eating humans. They want zombies. So it's all of each zombie has their sort of respective hang up or quirk, and that's sort of where we wrote each zombie in.
That's cool. I like that kind of concept because it kind of, you know, from a writer standpoint, it gives you the opportunity to really explore a bunch of situations. You're not really locked into one style of zombie. That kind of makes it hard for you to write a scene that has to be specific in the way the zombie acts. So that's kind of cool that you give each zombie its own kind of situation and stuff to deal with.
Yeah, they're watching, all zombie everything. There are certain things that come to you while you're watching a zombie, anything for that matter, but a zombie pick, and you're like, why is there always a horde? How did they wind up in that horde? Why isn't every zombie in the horde? So there's got to be a zombie who's like, why can't I run with the cool zombies? And so there's a lot of neurosis over this whole thing, but like, those are the zombies that in future seasons or whatever, that's the fun stuff to play with, of like, this zombie's faster than this zombie, so this zombie's got to be thinner. And like I said, they all have sort of, or like Alexis said, they all have sort of a bit of humanity to them, so we can play with that with each actor sort of bringing their own fun quirk to those tropes.
And I think something really cool that Andy incorporated, whereas like in contrast to some of the other zombie TV shows, zombie movies, when an actor, like the protagonist, is in a scene with a zombie, but like with this, you take off the makeup and you could have been in scenes with just normal people.
Yeah.
Like they had a back and forth conversation, normal-esque.
Yeah.
I think like Zac's character could have just been this brooding guy, know? So I think that's interesting.
That's cool. Do you think there might be any chance? Oh, sorry. Yeah, actually, I do want to hear from Zac. Zac, go ahead.
Well, when I first started looking at this, I was like, how does this guy move? And so I started looking into like partial paralysis or like efficiency moving, and then I actually went on to like watch these actors go through this like zombie school, and like, okay, what are they telling them? How do they move? But then finding it for myself was very interesting because I'm still kind of, stuck in this half world. And so it boiled down on the day of like being the most efficient, like letting yourself relax so you're not wasting energy, and then letting the performance like come from this super relaxed place where your head's kind of dropped, your arms are dropped. And that was really nice because then it made that dry comedy even better because it just subdued it more.
Yeah, I love the like less is more approach where, just being the most efficient at anything and not wasting any energy, and the dry sense of humor. Was so good.
I love the idea of you walking around your house, Zac, around your wife. Can you go into more of that, because I don't even know those stories? That's interesting.
As a man, we sometimes have certain needs that the women doesn't want to meet, and we find ourselves in this like trance where we're just like a bull elk following a harem until they relent. And that's sometimes, when I look back, that's how I feel. Well, my wife lets me know that I'm being that way, and so it's this like this stalking that happens around the house, and I don't even realize it until she like calls me out on it. So I think I've pulled from that a lot.
That's I love that.
So you got your inspiration from your time as a sex zombie, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
I think so.
Unfulfilled needs drive it.
So one thing I was interested in hearing about is, we kind of talked about how connected you are, like how do you feel you're similar to your character. What is some of the things you admire about your character? Like, what do you love about the characters you play?
Well, my character of Andy never gives up. He is determined to stop at nothing to get the girl of his dreams, which I think is very admirable. And unfortunately, he has a proclivity to faint at the sight of blood, so that's also an obstacle for him. But I admire his sense of humor and his tenacity.
Me, I think what I admire most about my zombie character is the fact that she's so blatant in what she wants, I think society, of course, if you want certain things, it kind of hinders you from expressing those things if they're deemed wrong or inappropriate, things like this. My zombie character just doesn't care about what anyone thinks. She's going to go after what she wants, whether it's okay or not. And so I think I liked that sort of brazen quality about her. Zach?
I like that too. Yeah, that's fun.
I like how far Brad kind of goes for what he wants. He's wandered way out in the desert. He can't find anyone anywhere, and then he tries to befriend Andy's character, who doesn't even recognize him, and he's a little upset with that. He's he just wants a personal connection again. I think he's lost, and it's kind of cute to see him kind of really want this personal connection in the middle of this kind of zombie land, and that's what I find kind of that's what I admire about this character. He's just looking for a connection, and some food.
Zach, you were an empathetic zombie. My God, I didn't think he existed. Well done. It's a whole new genre now.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm excited because so far in the series, I'm not. I think all I've been introduced to is Andy. As far as the three of you.
Yeah.
So much to look.
But I can't wait till I get to see the rest of you in there. I'd like to have this last question. I kind of pose this to all the people I interview. It's kind of like that fun question you ask with your friends anyway, and that's do you think you would survive an actual zombie apocalypse? What skills do you personally have that might help you in an actual zombie apocalypse?
I would immediately die. Literally the apocalypse would happen, and it would be like Indiana Jones. I would just turn into dust, and
no one would even touch you. You just poof.
We were filming out in the desert, and I couldn't even go into the location that we had, the house. We were packing up on the way out of shooting, because we were shooting out in the desert in 29 Palms in California, in the desert. And part of it was that I wanted that to be a character, that you're in the middle of nowhere. But unfortunately, we were in the middle of nowhere, and I'm a neurotic. So we're packing up to leave the desert, and I'm, the last car from the shoot left, and I saw the headlights pull away, and I'm left there with my car, no lights on, in an empty, dark house in the middle of nowhere, and every noise that popped up, I'm freaking out to the point where I ran to my car. I ran to my car from the house and turned on the music as loud as possible so that I could quiet my mind.
And that sounds like my day every single day, in my parking garage, in front of my apartment, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, broad daylight. I'm just scared to death when I'm by myself all the time.
And I do think that there is something very funny about that, in apocalyptic shows, that, The Walking Dead, they've been in that situation for so long. Nobody who's really scared to death of anything is around for very long. And I think it would be funny if these people they just got lucky. They just repeatedly got lucky. But Zach,
I think I'd like to think that I would be one of these survivors. I'm an outdoorsman. I'm a kind of mountain guy, and I always seclude myself when possible. I'm an avid marksman, and I think I could survive this, but I now have 3 daughters and a wife, and I have to think about this kind of stuff a lot. What if a major earthquake happens? How quick can I get my stuff together? So I have all my camping gear, all my stuff in these 2 huge duffel bags that I could grab in less than 40 seconds, right? And I could be in the car, and we already have an evacuation route planned. So I think that I plan for this.
All right, so Zach's on my team. The zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, we call Zach.
I will keep you guys laughing. Actually, Kevin.
As long as you're alive, which will be about a second.
The big guy, Michael Foster, who I guess you haven't seen, but there's a big guy that comes in. He also has like an escape route and everything planned. A lot of you guys have that.
Oh, my dad. Did you guys ever hear of that show? It was like a apocalyptic show about people who are preparing for the apocalypse, essentially. They're nuts. My dad is basically one of them. He has these gallons, they were vodka bottles of water. And when I found them, I'm like, oh my God, Dad, do you have a drinking problem? I thought it was all vodka. He's like, no, Lex, it's just water for the end of the world. So we have enough water. I'm like, yeah, that's actually worse. I'd rather you be the alcoholic.
That's great.
Yeah, actually, I got into looking up prepping a little bit as I was writing my zombie story, and it's actually pretty interesting. There are the crazy ones who like are doing it because they're positive 100% that the world's going to end very soon, and then there's people who are just like, you don't know, so like, you know, have a stash of canned goods that you rotate through and stuff like that. Me, I think I would be okay in the zombie apocalypse psychologically. Like you were talking about how like even in the desert during normal non-apocalyptic times, you know, even the darkness and the sound kind of psychologically play some tricks on you.
Yeah.
I think I could be able to have like situational awareness. I'm kind of aware a lot. I like to analyze things too, so like I'll play through scenarios in my head as I'm like, you know, walking what might happen. So, and plus I do have that friend where we created our plan, which was I actually grew up in California. If you know, like Long Beach, Los Alamitos, kind of that area. So we had the riverbed right there, and he worked at a hotel down by the ocean. Where would be trying to think? Oh, the Queen Mary. So you probably know where the Queen Mary's at.
Okay.
Yeah, where they keep that at. So he works at a hotel there.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
where ghosts live.
Oh, I've done the ghost walkthrough thing. It's pretty freaky. I don't know, ghosts and zombies. I think I might prefer zombies, but that might just be me.
Because zombie ghost combination.
Oh, yeah.
Ghosts can do things that you can't see.
Yeah.
It's way scarier. At least you can see the
That's
zombie.
freaky.
Nobody write a movie about zombie ghosts. I'm writing it right now.
Zosts. Bad timing. Zosts.
Zosts. That's actually a cool idea. There's I did interview a comic book team, artist and writer, and they have a pretty fun zombie story where it's the so the guy turns into a zombie, and so there's zombie him, and then there's the ghost of who he was before he died, like, and turned into a zombie, and together they're working for, I forget, like, he was writing the first issue when I interviewed him, so I was kind of interested to see where that might be developed into.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Let's see, how long have we been recording
6 hours.
now? Oh yeah, no, it's about 30 minutes. That's about perfect timing. I'd like to wrap it up here with letting you guys kind of just have the floor, promote whatever you want, personal-wise, this project, where we can find, you know, all your social links and everything like that. The floor is all yours.
Zach?
Well, you know, you can find me on Instagram at Zac Titus 1. That's ZACTITUS1, and I like it because I love kind of capturing something through image and just kind of revealing my life, you know, one image at a time is quite nice. And then Andy, is this up on YouTube for everyone if they subscribe to Golden Tusk?
Yeah.
Then go do that. Go subscribe to Golden Tusk and watch this because you'll laugh your ass off, and it's a really fun, witty take on what this kind of dork's life would be like. No offense, but you know. And I laughed so much at the premiere. It was such a pleasure to be a part of.
Thanks, man.
Definitely. So I volunteer at an animal shelter once a week, and we produce these videos to help get the cats adopted. So they're just like these 40-second videos. I play with the cat, and then I do a voiceover at the end, just talking about like their personalities, what sort of home this cat would like to go to most. So yeah, it's called Best Friends. It's a no-kill shelter, and you can find all those videos on YouTube. It's in West Los Angeles, so there's tons of cats that are so awesome and need homes. So yeah, I would love for anyone listening to this to check that out. Everyone should have a cat in their life. Not a zombie cat, though, just a regular cat.
Yeah, a zombie cat would be disturbing.
You just made me feel like a piece of crap. That was amazing. I'm all selfish up here, and you're like donating time. incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make you feel better. My Instagram's Alexis Codding. There.
There you go. Both very pretty people on Instagram.
I look way better on Instagram than real life. Way better.
Don't we all? And you can find me on the internet more than in real life. I'm at youtube.com/GoldenTusk, and you might have seen me millions of years ago putting original lyrics to movie theme songs. Now I focus more on sort of web series. Bad Timing is sort of my crowning achievement so far, but I've got a couple other series up there, and we just got a production grant to do some virtual reality work. So I'm playing with my improv group Freedom Snatch in a couple different sort of new VR trials. So we got some fun stuff coming up.
Awesome.
Cool.
Andy,
Yeah, that all sounds interesting.
Andy, is that like Free the Nipple, Freedom Snatch, or is that different?
I mean, we both have the same end goal, I think.
Okay, great. Just
Yeah.
wondering.
Improv.
Yeah. Well, I want to appreciate you guys taking the time out and sitting through the interview with me. Once I started looking at the videos, like probably once I'm done here, I'm gonna go binge watch the rest of it. Like I literally can't wait. I do appreciate you guys taking the time to sit and answer the questions we had. I'm really excited to go watch the rest of the episodes that you guys have up on. Was it Golden Tusk on YouTube?
Golden Tusk, GOLDENTUSK.
Excellent. All right. Well, I really appreciate it, guys. I had a lot of fun talking to you guys today.
Sweet.
We had
Thanks.
so much fun. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, brother.
Later.
Later.